I'm not in any way attempting to be sacrilegious, but I simply, through common colloquial, want to bring clarity to the context of the text that I have to unpack through this pericope found in Romans chapter 7, verses 18 through 23. And in order to bring context to the text through common colloquial, it is incumbent upon me, in the words of the complex and controversial, prodigious hip-hop virtuoso Kanye West, who on his project Late Registration, track 11, y'all don't have the joint, I have it. Kanye West posed some provocative questions that seem to echo the sentiments of Paul in Romans 7, verses 18 through 23. Here is what Kanye said on track 11 of his project Late Registration. Kanye said, "Why everything's supposed to be bad makes me feel so good. Everything they tell me not to is exactly what I would. Man, I tried to stop now. I tried the best I could." Then he says, "What's your addiction? Is it money? Is it girls? Is it weed? I've been afflicted by not one, not two, not three. And just in case Kanye is too urban for you, must I submit to you the prolific writings of St. Augustine of Hippo, who wrote his autobiography concerning his conversion between AD 397 and 398 in his book called The Confession. St. Augustine of Hippo said this: God creates man for good, but man misguides what God gives him when he has no restraint imposed on himself by the exchange of his mind with God's mind. St. Augustine of Hippo, must I recapitulate, in his book, The Confession, which chronicles his conversion between AD 397 and AD 398, said that God created man for good, but man misguides, not the devil, not the enemy, not your external influences. Man misguides what God gives him when he has no restraint imposed on himself by being willing to exchange his mind with God's mind. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it poignantly and poetically. He said, "Your actions speak so loudly, I can't really hear what you're saying." Allow me, if you will, to postulate poetic musings from this meandering maze that I call a mind. And the poem is called "The Best Part of Me." It said, "There's a part of me that nobody sees. It's called the best of me. It's the place that holds all I want to become and everything that I should be. After everyone gets a piece of me, they still can't touch the real me. There will always be another part to me. It's the part that only God sees. There sits the treasure of my destiny. It's the only reason that God won't abandon me, because I'm still holding the best of me. So I just want to get out of me so I can prove what the world needs to see, that there's always been more to me. It's simply called the best in me." So what you've got to understand, that when it comes to spirituality, being spiritual is not emotional, it's mental.